in the sweltering heat of Singapore during the Singer Cup of 1996. Navjot Singh Sidhu produced one of his most determined innings, crafting a battling 94 runs from 116 deliveries against Sri Lanka. It was an effort built not on flamboyance but on sheer grit, including just 4 boundaries, yet brimming with resolve. However, on the previous day, runs had cascaded freely on the same surface, but this time the pitch had turned treacherous, its bounce gone, its pace unpredictable. Batting became a laborious task, and every run had to be earned the hard way. Amidst the struggle, Navjot Singh Sidhu stood tall. For 3 long hours, he weathered the storm, showing patience, composure, and an unflinching determination to carry India innings.
Well, that's well played. That's beautifully driven into the gap. And for 4. Oh, that's his first boundary now. He's been playing second fiddle out there to Sachin Tendulkar. That's only his nice delivery, but watch the shot. What a lovely drive that was through the gap.
Yes, Sidhu hasn't had much of the strike, but that time, not a bad delivery by Vikramasinghe. Sidhu waiting for the ball to come into it, leaning into it, and going through with that shot.
Well, that's a good shot. Navjot Singh Sidhu leaning on that one, hitting it down the ground. Won't quite get to the fence.
So Sidhu looking good there. That one right in the slot for the drive. Sidhu leaning into it and picking the gap. That's Vas into the slot. Sidhu waiting for the ball to come into him.
Well, that's well bowled and well played. There was a bit of bounce in that one, and nudged away. Pretty late cut that one down to third man for 2. And this is the shot again, short, nipped back a little bit, nicely played.
Sidhu, a lot of experience, compact player, keeps the score moving all the time, looking for runs, looking for the gaps.
Oh, he's hit the stumps. That's well fielded. Well, these Sri Lankans, they hit the stumps on a regular basis, and that always gives them the chance of a run out.
That's Kulchandana, the newcomer into the Sri Lankan side today. Quick throw, a direct hit on the stumps, and that must have been very, very close.
I wonder whether he got his bat down. Let's have a look. This will be very interesting. Now, there's nothing we can see from there except the stumps were shattered. That view from sideways on is the one. Now, there we are. I think that he's probably out. Very difficult to see there. The bails are off. Is his back just over the line? Is it on the line? Does he get the benefit of the doubt? I think it may just be one of those, yes? Benefit of the doubt to the batsman. That's the right decision. And so, that single brings up the half century. 50 for 1 this.
Dropped. That was a cotton ball chance. He tumbled over and the ball went out of his hands.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if it carried. Tossed up by Muralidharan here, inviting the batsman to drive, deceiving Sidhu in the flight, playing a little bit too early, and could have just fallen short of Muralidharan.
Down to fine leg. They should get 2 or possibly 3. And Jadeja game, so they get 3. 91 for 4. And the cotton ball just dropping short. In fact, it did touch both his hands, and then the fall, the thud, really got the ball out of his hands.
Bit of turn there for Chandana. So it'll be interesting to see how Sri Lanka go about it if they've got to chase a total of somewhere between 170 and 220. It'll be interesting to see if they go at it with the normal opening onslaught, or whether they try and approach it a little bit differently. It's nicely hit by Sidhu, but we kept to the single. And you see here Chandana getting the ideal opportunity to bowl his leg spin with Sri Lanka on. Sidhu not doing enough with the loose ball, not finding the boundary. That does bring up his half century.
It's taken him a fair bit of time in terms of overs. He's got it off 72 balls, which is not slow going at all.
There's a gift. And that's how things are going for Jayasuriya. A gift which really should have been put away by Asia. It's been caught by the outfielder. Umpire George Sharp just wanting to make sure that the heels of the fielder weren't up against the rope. He has asked for the replay.
Well, there is this full toss at a nice height. A height which every batsman loves to take advantage of because it is below the waist. You can more or less control it. And it's a very, very well judged catch there. So India have lost their 5th wicket for 114. Ajay Jadeja is the man out. So the bowling for Sri Lanka, very impressive. They've contained India. The best of the lot, Muralidharan 2 for 17.
Down the track comes Sidhu. It's it in the air and in the gap too. Beautiful shot for 4. It really was a fine shot to break the shackles.
And that's Sidhu coming down the pitch, lofting it, chipping it over the infield and right into the boundary, bisecting the 2 fielders down there.
And straight away Srinath going after him, hitting it wide of mid-on into the fence for 4. Ali is no mug with the bat. Okay, he's got to apply himself here, and that really was a fine shot. Chandana back into the attack and pulled away by Sidhu in the gap between mid-wicket and square leg for another boundary.
So once again a very fine shot by Sidhu. Upul Chandana dropping it short. Sidhu quickly pouncing on it. That's Upul Chandana, very, very short. And Sidhu bisecting the 2 fielders on the square leg boundary.
And pulled away by Sidhu, and this should be 4 runs again in the gap between square leg and mid-wicket.
Once again a fine shot by Sidhu, showing that he's very much in touch now. Upul Chandana dropping it short, very, very short in fact, and Sidhu not making any mistake. Nice little partnership here developing between Sidhu and Srinath, both of whom were back.
Oh, he's bowled him. Pulled away, tried to smash that one to mid-wicket. He saw him, I think, pulling away, went for the leg stump, and that was spot on, that delivery, and it knocked the leg stump back. He's got his gear on anyhow. Here's the number.
India eventually managed only 199 runs, hardly a daunting target in modern terms, yet the total proved just enough as Indian bowler rose to the occasion and carved out a famous 12-run victory. Navjot Sidhu knock, though, was the bedrock of that triumph. His vigil not only anchored the innings but also epitomized the spirit of perseverance. Exhausted and suffering from heat stroke, Sidhu was later taken to hospital, his effort underscoring both the physical and mental toll of that innings. Still, it was a performance that will be remembered as one of his most steadfast knocks in ODI. Navjot Sidhu was never just another name in Indian cricket. He was a character in every sense, from being tagged as a strokeless early in his career to reinventing himself as a fearless stroke maker. Navjot Sidhu's journey was one of the resilience and reinvention. His straight bat, booming drive, and willingness to take on spinners made him a vital opening batsman at the top of the order through the 1990s. If you like this video, please comment, share and subscribe. Thank you very much.